This week, we're going to space.
Okay, not exactly, but we are going to learn a lot about it. You see, we are currently on our way to the Mount Wilson Observatory to see the same telescopes that Edwin Hubble and Albert Einstein once used to discover that the universe is a whole lot bigger than the Milky Way, and it's constantly expanding.
But first, I'm gonna need a coffee. Welcome to the Cosmic Café. Fun fact, this used to be the recreation hall for astronomers living on the mountain full time. Astronomical research powered by glizzies. But I know what you guys are really here to see. Let's go check out this observatory. All right, well, our first stop on the tour behind me here in this giant white dome is the 60-inch telescope. Now, back in 1908, this was the largest telescope in the world, and obviously it let us get a closer look at stars, and what we learned is that stars are made out of the same elements that Earth is. So that was like the big discovery for this telescope, which is super cool. Unfortunately, we can't go inside, but there are public viewings, and you are able to go and check it out, just not right now. But I'm even more excited about another telescope because there's one even bigger. I'm talking about the 100-inch Hooker telescope, and we're gonna go check it out right now. Oh boy, you know I love me a good wooden walkway. We're walking up. Okay, it was really dark in there, so I got some clips on my phone, but that thing is massive. All right, so 10 years after the 60-inch telescope comes out, they say, you know what? We need a bigger one. 100-inch telescope in 1917. And with the use of this telescope, we discovered a lot of things about our universe that I'm gonna try to explain now to the best of my ability. All right, but first, we're gonna need a little bit of historical context. You know, ever since the first man looked up into the stars, they kind of just assumed we were at the center of everything, right? There's Earth, and then there's a solar system, but Earth has got to be at the center of it, right? No, there's actually a sun at the center. And then we were like, wait a minute, that sun isn't even that special. There's like thousands of them everywhere. But we finally thought we figured it out with the Milky Way galaxy. We were like, this is it. This is the whole universe. This is all we got. That's everything, right? Until they built this giant telescope, and they're looking through that thing at this thing called the Andromeda Nebula. It's a big cloud of gas, and they're looking at it. They're like, wait a minute. This isn't just a cloud of gas. This is another entire galaxy out there, millions of light years out there. So overnight we realized, oh my God, the universe is way bigger than we ever even understood. And then we're looking at this universe, we're looking at it way in the distance, and it's doing this thing, it's red shifting. Now what that means is, if you've ever heard of the Doppler effect, let's say an ambulance drives by, it sounds different coming up to you than it does going away from you. It has to do with the sound waves. I'm not going to try and explain it. I'm not smart enough. But the point is, in space, light does a similar thing. If something's moving away from you, the light shifts back red. And if it's coming towards you, it shifts blue. So everything, they're looking at this galaxy and it's shifting red. They're looking at all the other stars, they're shifting red too, and they're realizing, wait a minute. Not only are there other galaxies out there, they're all moving away from us. They're expanding. So someone else that realized this was Einstein. When he wrote General Theory of Relativity in like 1915 or something, he said the universe must be expanding or contracting. But around the time in the 1900s, most people were like, no way, it's constant. So he added this thing in called the cosmological constant or something, that the universe isn't expanding. And then in the 30s, he came here, he looked through the telescope, and he realized, oh my God, what a dummy. I've been right all along. The universe is expanding. So the point I'm making with this long rant is this gigantic telescope right here helped us realize not only is the universe infinitely larger than we had any idea it was, it's also expanding and getting bigger every second. So that's pretty insane to just discover that one day. But now we get to learn about it and come to these cool places at this beautiful, beautiful telescope. They do like viewing parties. You can come. It's like it was expensive. It was like $250, but you can come and look through the telescope with a small group and learn more and talk to somebody that knows a lot more about the stuff than I do. So that might be worth doing if you ever have the funds and you want to learn about space. But let's keep moving. There's some other cool stuff I want to check out. See, like, this is pretty cool. I've never heard of this before. This is called a Chara array. So it's 6 different telescopes. There's one of them right there. And they are each 1 meter wide or 40 inches, so a little smaller than our big boy over there. And they beam their light through those vacuum tubes to a control console place, the beam combining lab. Using the power of these two telescopes and these two telescopes and these two telescopes, they combine all the light and simulate a much bigger telescope. In this case, a telescope that has the power of a 331 meter in diameter telescope, which is 30 times larger than the largest optical telescope in the world. So that's cool. There's different ways of doing things. You know, they can build massive telescopes, but they can also build telescope arrays, which is what this is right here. Pretty cool. Okay, so I hiked a little out of the way for this one, but this is Sturtevant Trail. Now, in one of my previous videos, I hiked to something called Sturtevant Falls and Sturtevant Camp. Well, if you watch that video, you'll see there's a part where I find the trailhead to Mount Wilson. So you can continue that hike and make your way all the way up here, or you can drive up like me, like a lazy bones. But there's a little viewing spot up over here we're gonna go take a look at. But great hike. Sturtevant Falls is beautiful. Sturtevant Camp is a little mountainside camp paradise. I can't wait to go back there, and I highly recommend it. And I'll link that video in the description so you can go check it out. You know, I'm glad I came here today. It was a short trek, short video, but I think it's important for everybody to think about space sometimes. Let me expand on that. You know, there's this picture I saw as a kid that has stuck with me my whole life. It's a photograph. It's called Pale Blue Dot, and it shows our Earth in space. I'm gonna put a photo of it right here. Now look at that, and think about every good experience, every bad experience, everything you've ever been happy about, everything you've ever been sad about. It all took place right there on that little dot, you know? So for the same reasons that I like hiking when I'm overwhelmed or whatever, thinking about space helps too. Cause like, bro, none of this matters. We're all gonna die. There's gonna be the heat death of the sun, the solar system. The universe will exist long after us. We're just visitors passing by, and there's something very beautiful about that. As you can see, I'm out of breath now because I'm walking uphill. The cafe closes in 10 minutes. I'm trying to get there in time for another coffee. Coffees acquired. Now you might be thinking, Ethan, why do you have 2 iced coffees? Well, there's 1 free refill, and the store closes in like 5 minutes, so they just gave me the second cup. Bing, bong. I'm not trying to like...
Free hot dog.
I'll take a free hot dog. Holy shit, y'all saw that, right? They're giving me a free hot dog. Dude, sick. Thank you.
You came at the right time, dude.
Ugh, dude, this is sick. I got a free hot dog. Everyone that works here is so nice. Like, I feel like at a lot of like museums or places with science and tech or whatever, people are just happy to be there. They're like excited. They're like happy to be talking about science and shit. And they're happy to be doing their job. Like, bro, this guy just gave me a glizzy. Got my iced coffees. This couldn't be a better end of the day. And I'm not trying to like bum you guys out with like, you know, the universe ending or whatever. But my point being is, you know, if we're all gonna die, you got one good life to live, and you might as well spend it hiking and learning about space. You know, growing up, I was super into space. As a kid, I had a dream to double major in theoretical physics and astrophysics, and that was like my dream, right? And then I like, you know, had a tough time in high school and a tougher time in college and kind of gave up. But would have been really cool. I ended up doing computer science, and then I dropped out, and then I threw punk shows for a few years, and then I worked in a call center, and now I'm a door guy. But now you know a little bit more about me. But yeah, making these videos has made me realize I really like learning stuff. You know, it's something I want to talk about that I thought about the other day. Bro, why does school make learning things so boring? Like, as an adult, I am so excited when I get to go to like a museum or a, you know, observatory, or like read about like old settlers when I'm on a hike or something. Like, bro, all that stuff is so much more interesting as an adult. I don't know if it's because they weren't teaching it well as a kid, or if I'm just more inclined to want to learn those things as an adult. But that's something I thought about. Learning is still like really cool. And yeah, I want to like, after this, I want to like go home and watch Cosmos or something. Like, this is great. You know, normally I drive home and I do my recap at my desk. This is kind of nice. I'm sitting here with my hot dog, looking out at a beautiful view. I mean, it's a parking lot, but there's mountains and hills in the distance. I think this might be a good place to end my video. I might wrap it up here. I had a lot of trouble figuring out a video this week. You know, Yosemite last week was just so epic. Like, I could not think of what to do for the life of me. I had no idea. I was really stressed out. If you guys, you know, for those of you who've been watching my videos for a while, if you guys have any suggestions on what I should do next week, or what type of stuff you want to see from me, more educational, more hiking, more touristy, like, let me know, because I'm learning this stuff as I go. But I really like making videos, and I really like editing, and it's been really fun, and it makes me do stuff, bro. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. It's a Saturday. Most people do stuff on Saturdays. Normally I work on Saturday. Normally I'd be asleep until like 6 p.m. So I like that making videos encourages me to go outside. Maybe you should make a video. Dude, try just for fun. Like, I don't know, everybody has like an iPhone or a smartphone or whatever. Just film like a couple clips of the next time you do anything, like go on a trip or hang out with your friends, and like use whatever iMovie and just put it together, and look at how satisfying it is. It's like home movies aren't like a thing anymore, but back in the day everybody had a giant freaking camcorder and made home movies, and like these are just my home movies outside of home. So I don't know, I'm kind of laying it on here, but it's been a real pleasure hanging out with you guys this week. I think I learned some cool stuff today. I want to learn more about space. I listened to some good podcasts about this before I came here to study up. I will link those in the description. And I'll see you next week.